go to Zipa. That's disrespectful. Everybody's stuck in the same room with you. All right? So you have respect. You buy a Zipa. Go to Zipa.com. ZYPPAH.com. ZYPPAH.com. Start your vacation or...
Truck drivers, we know driving is your career, but what drives you? This is Craig Harper, Chief Operations Officer at JB Hunt. As a truck driver, your day-to-day consists of a lot of time behind the wheel and time at the shipper too. But it's what you do when the truck is parked and the keys put away that drives you. From family time to fitness to fishing and everything in between, JB Hunt Company drivers enjoy more time with the people and the places they love, thanks to our local and regional truck driving jobs. And in 2017, we're adding more local and regional jobs across the country, which means more time for you to spend with the people you work so hard for. Are you driven for more? Call us to learn about our local and regional in the areas near you at 855-8JB-HUNT. That's 855-8JB-HUNT. Or search online anytime at drivejbhunt.com. 855-8JB-HUNT. Or visit us online at drivejbhunt.com.
Are you putting your retirement savings in a 401k, IRA, or investment account? Then I have one word of advice. Stop. Many experts warn of a stock market crash any day now. And if it's anything like the last two crashes, you could lose 50% or more of your hard-earned savings in the Wall Street casino. Can you afford to lose half of your retirement savings again? Hey, you don't have to lose a penny because there's a better, safer way to save for retirement. And you can learn all about it in a free report. This is the report Wall Street and big banks desperately hope you never see. Why? Because this method continues to grow your money even when the market tumbles. It lets you take back control of your money and finances. And it gives you penalty-free access to your savings. Plus, it beats the pants off any 401k or IRA. These are uncertain times, so get the information you need today to guarantee your retirement security. To get this free report, go to bankonyourself.com right now. That's bankonyourself.com. Bankonyourself.com.
Individual results may vary. There's no guarantee that past performance will be indicative of future results. Invest wisely.
Message and data rates may apply.
Dear Southern New Hampshire University, thank you for making my mommy so happy.
Because of SNHU, Daddy does his homework with me.
Mommy and me are going to school.
We both learn a lot.
Now you can get that degree you've always wanted without sacrificing precious family time. Introduce yourself to Southern New Hampshire University. Our high-quality online programs are designed for people like you, busy adult learners who want to improve their careers on their own terms. Get degree information and see how to apply online by texting WISH33 to 554433. Our personalized online approach provides all the individual flexibility, support, and encouragement needed every step of the way. And because we're nonprofit, our tuition is amongst the lowest in the country.
Thanks, SNHU. Great job, Mommy.
Take the first step. Get degree information and see how to apply online by texting WISH33 to 554433. Southern New Hampshire University. See yourself succeed. Text WISH33 to 554433.
Sirius XM presents. There is a channel dedicated to talking about music and volume. A brand new channel. News, interviews, debates, and more. On now. Exclusively on Sirius XM 106.
Mike and Mike, and we're just again looking at it quickly, those three receivers for the Dolphins. Devontae Parker had 56 catches. He was second. Landry was first with 94, Parker 56, and then you had Kenny Stills with 42, but Stills led the way with 9 touchdowns. Landry had 4, Parker had 4, Deion Sims had 4 for receiving wise. That's what I'm saying. Go find a trio of wide receivers that combine to put up better numbers than that. They're not going to be a lot. I'm not saying they're going to be the best. And then throw in there Jay Ajayi ran the ball 260 times for just under 1,300 yards, just a tick under 5 yards per carry, and had 8 rushing touchdowns. And that's without playing the beginning of the season. Like, I've never even heard of him before the season began. And then he showed up with his English accent, and he's running all over everybody. So they're good. The Dolphins are a good team. So it makes sense to me they would go out and make win now kind of move, because I do think that they view themselves, and correctly so, as a win now team. I do have a stat here that he just sent me on the receiver size. They're all small. Actually, Parker's 6'3". Landry 5'11". Stills, I remember him at Oklahoma. He played against my boys and when Notre Dame went to Oklahoma in 2012. He's 6'1". So they're good, and Ajayi is good. So the answer is yes, they're good. Plus they have Julius Thomas, who they got in the trade from Jacksonville, who Peyton Manning made into a star in Denver as a big-time tight end, and he hasn't done much since then. So we'll see if he can add anything to it. All right, let's do Straight Talk, which is brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. Best phones, best networks, no contracts. The stories that came out of Miami suggested that the names the Dolphins considered when they were making a decision on who they bring in when they see just how bad it is with Tannehill include Kyle Orton, Tim Tebow, Colin Kaepernick, and they wind up signing Jay Cutler. Now, again, of all of those, because of the history between Cutler and Gaze, that one, I understood it, and it was actually the one that I was anticipating. Do you think serious consideration was given to Tebow? I think it was another name. You realize Gaze and Tebow were together in Denver. Yes, that's it. If names were brought up that Gaze was with, that to me, but was that one where like you even bother writing it down on the piece of paper? Oh no, I don't think it got any further than what quarterbacks did you coach when you were at Denver and in Chicago, and you start listing them, and then it went no further than that. That's my opinion. But I understand. Okay, here's a list. All right, who did you coach? What quarterbacks did you coach? Well, boom, boom, boom. Tim Tebow, one of them, but I don't think it got any further than that. No, okay, I just read a story that said that's one of the people they quote-unquote considered. I'm just curious what considered means. To me, I just think it was the name of a quarterback who worked with Adam Gase and went no further than that. And then the next thing I'd like to do, and again, we'll ask Dan Le Batard when he joins us, because he's closer to the situation there in Miami than we are. Again, my perception on the owner of the Dolphins, Stephen Ross, is that he would be one of the owners who would sign Colin Kaepernick. Well, he had said, Stephen Ross, there was an article that I saw where he said he didn't have a problem with the guys kneeling. Right. Well, he had multiple players on the Dolphins that did. Right. Kaepernick started it, but he started, as anyone remembers, by far, clearly not the only player in the NFL. No, not at all, but obviously the headliner there. So, as I said, so the owner, and that's the key. In all of this, there are 32 decision makers as far as Colin Kaepernick is concerned. That it begins with, and that's the 32 owners. Are we, if the chance comes, would we sign him? And as I said, that discussion has already been. Anybody that says there hasn't been a discussion about that, whether it's we're not signing him or we'll talk about it if the opportunity presents itself, that's already been done. I guarantee you that has already been done. And Stephen Ross, as we said, didn't have a problem with the kneeling. I just think Cutler was a better fit with Adam Gase in this offense than was Colin Kaepernick. But it does, leave the question in place: what happens with Kaepernick? We are now on the verge of pretty much every team in the NFL. By this time, the end of the week, every team in the NFL will have played their first preseason. They will. I mean, it's getting late early. We're waiting for it. That's what we're waiting for, is the injury. That's what you thought you may have had in Baltimore. And as I said earlier about the owner there, kind of saying, pray for us, we're still thinking about it. And I think or you don't know what you're going to do. And at the end of the day, it's their choice. There are players calling owners cowards for not signing Colin Kaepernick. Listen, we can all say what we want to say, but it's up to them. And if you ever own a business, you get to call the shots, okay? And these owners own their teams, so they get to call the shots. And you may not like it, you may not agree with it, but they're in the position to do it, and they're the ones that are going to be the initial ones making the decision on Colin Kaepernick. So you wonder, it has to sort of, for him to get an opportunity now, is to have to fall into whatever that, what are those graphs called? Like a Venn diagram or something like that, where there's like one circle and another, and someplace they meet. There's a circle of owners who would consider all to be true. I believe that there is, for lack of a better word, a disorganized blackballing going on here, which is to say, I don't think the owners got together and said, you don't sign him, I won't sign him. Yeah, but I think that most of the owners, individually on their own, will. One of the things he did say is he said, we're about bringing guys on to help this team win. And he even said, he goes, I'm not sure how much I think Kaepernick helps us win. That could be I'm going to use the football talk as far as wins and losses to cover the fact that I don't want him on this team. I have no idea. Not in the guy's head. But what I do know is what I said before. That thing got dragged out, in my eyes, got to be ridiculous, because the conversations have been had already. So to say you're hemming and hawing and thinking about it, I don't buy it. I just don't buy that. Straight Talk Wireless nationwide coverage on America's largest and most dependable 4G LTE networks. And so here we are headlong into Pro Football 2017, and already huge stories out there to get to. We'll take a brief pause here. We have Bomani Jones coming this morning, and Dan Le Batard, Herm Edwards, Keegan-Michael Key will be in our studio, and that should be great fun today as well. But coming up next, I've been looking forward to playing this for you. I'm dying to hear your reaction, and anyone's who may not have had a chance to hear it yesterday. Tom Brady last week said whether he got a concussion or not last season is nobody's business. One of the most respected voices in sports strongly disagrees. You'll hear that and make up your own mind as we continue the next hour right here, Mike and Mike.
The crack of the bat, the cheer of the fans, basking in the sun on a summer day. Save now at Days Inn when you see your favorite team play. With over 1,600 locations, there's always a Days Inn nearby. Home or away with friends or family, bask in the sun at Days Inn. Stay 2 nights and save 20%. Plus earn 1,000 Wyndham Rewards bonus points when you book at DaysInn.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Mike Golick here from my good friends at Mahindra. You know, if you had to pick a word to describe the type of tractor or utility vehicle you'd want to care for the land you love, well, I bet you'd pick the word tough. And I can tell you as a proud Mahindra owner myself that they build the toughest tractors and utility vehicles on earth. Right now, bring your old tractor and UTV in and trade up to tough with real savings on a brand new Mahindra. That's right, just trade in the other guys and pay $0 down and get 0% financing for up to 60 months or up to $8,400 in real cash back and savings. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranty comes standard. So get your work done, America, with Mahindra. Learn more about the world's #1 selling tractor at MahindraUSA.com.
Head over to MahindraUSA.com today for great tractor and utility vehicle packages. Learn more about the toughest tractors on earth and find a Mahindra dealer near you at MahindraUSA.com. Warranty on select models. See Mahindra warranty policy for details.
What you doing? Ran out of space on my phone, so I'm deleting some stuff. By singing dog. By goal. I pronounce you by wedding ceremony. Stop. At Metro PCS, you get 2 free phones with twice as much memory.
Really? Don't say bye.
Your memories? Switch to Metro PCS and get 2 free LG K20 Plus phones with 32 gigs when you switch 2 lines. Metro PCS. Wireless. Figured out. Coverage not available in some areas. Sales tax not included in phone price. Excludes numbers on the T-Mobile network. See store for details and terms and conditions.
Property damage restoration is a $70 billion opportunity, and owning a Paul Davis franchise can make you part of it. Your success is guided by Paul Davis team members like Leslie Anderson, head of training.
A lot of people can do what we do. Very few do it at the level at which we do it.
With 370 locations across North America, our people, our best-in-class training and franchise support are your keys to success. Need a great team to launch your next successful venture? Look no further than a Paul Davis franchise. Go PaulDavis.com.
Your data is the lifeblood of your business. Without it, your organization would struggle to survive. Successful businesses treat data protection proactively, planning backup strategies, disaster recovery, and business continuity as carefully as next quarter's marketing. And more than ever, companies are turning to Carbonite for their data protection needs. Carbonite works with you to determine the best strategy to protect your data, applications, and servers, taking into account your unique recovery needs. When it comes to data protection, one size never fits all. Carbonite serves business customers with secure automatic backup plans, disaster recovery as a service, and even high availability services that replicate your data to the cloud in near real time. So which kind of plan is right for your business? If you're not sure, Carbonite will help you find out. Be proactive with your data protection. Learn more and get started today at Carbonite.com/radio.
If your engine doesn't leak oil, but you have to add to it between oil changes, where does the oil go? The problem occurs when piston rings clog with carbon and then allow oil to blow by the pistons and burn in combustion chambers. The best service shops use a BG product that cleans the engine in just 15 minutes. Find a shop with BG products at bgfindashop.com. That's bgfindashop.com. It will protect your engine and your pocketbook. Find a shop now. Go to findashop.com.
So, driver to driver, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Okay, it's not so much a secret anymore, but driving with Uber is the ultimate side hustle. It totally fits around your schedule, so you can earn whenever you have time. Maybe that's before breakfast on Sundays. Maybe that's after work on Mondays. Maybe that's Tuesday afternoons while your kid's taking guitar lessons. It's totally up to you, and whenever you want to make some extra cash on the side. That's the best part. Here's the other equally best part. With Uber's Instant Pay, you can get paid whenever you want. Just push a button and the money you earn goes right into your account. It's awesome. In fact, I'm driving with Uber right now. Say hi, riders.
Hi.
James and his daughter are going to the dentist.
Dad, you said we were going to the pool. Oh, wait till Mom hears about this.
Get your side hustle on and start driving with Uber today. Visit uber.com/drive now. That's uber.com/drive now.
We alarm our houses, and we alarm our cars. But when it comes to your personal information, it can be tough to know when something isn't right. That's where Discover Card can help. Now, we'll send you an alert if we find your social security number on any one of thousands of risky websites. And this service is free for card members. Just sign up online. It's our way of looking out for you, not just your account. Or at discover.com/free alerts. Limitations apply.
Online searches your next vacation, or hand your vacation savings to a cybercriminal. Fake links, hacked websites, and phishing emails are on the rise, but you can stay safe with Kaspersky Lab Internet Security. Kaspersky lets you bank, browse, and that's right, buy tickets and travel gear online with confidence. No wonder it's the world's most awarded internet security. So keep planning. Kaspersky will keep you safe. Learn more at Kaspersky.com.
The only channel devoted exclusively to fantasy sports. Sirius XM Fantasy Sports Radio. Sirius 210 XM 87. This is Mike and Mike on ESPN Radio and ESPN2.
Jay Cutler today will sign a contract to become the quarterback of the Miami Dolphins. Boy, oh boy. Yeah, go away for a few days and all hell breaks loose.
You know, I don't want to get into, things that happened in my past, certainly medical history and so forth. I really don't think that's anybody's business.
When we open the door for others to compete, we fulfill the promise of one nation, under God, with liberty and justice for all.
Now, here's Mike and Mike.
There we are. We're back in Better Than Ever. Presented by Progressive Insurance. Our guests on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line, and they will include on this morning Bomani Jones and Dan Levitard, Herman Edwards, and the actor and the hilarious Keegan-Michael Key will be by our studio as well. So great fun to be had, again, with the guests on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. And, Dan Levitard can give us some insight into this.
It's like learning a different language. And Jay Cutler doesn't have to do that because he knows the system and he knows the language Adam Gase uses. So it absolutely was the first name that I thought of. That Jay, I said, if Jay wants to come.
Brought to you by Mike and Mike, brought to you by Upside. Now save big on travel. Get a big gift card with every trip you buy. You will love Upside.com. That's Upside.com.
And real quick, let me say about that. There is that side of it. How much did he have to be talked into playing? Okay? Because now, so if the money was right, Colin Kaepernick, we all believe, wants to play.
Right.
Everybody's saying we need to hear from him, He's choosing not to do an interview. Certainly, that's his right to do or to not do. There is that side of it. Jay Cutler didn't want to play football anymore, or at least was going into the booth, and maybe he didn't get the love he wanted somewhere. I have no idea. And I don't know, which report you want to believe. He was, even in talking to Miami, he was leaning towards staying in the booth, but maybe the money got good enough for you to say, okay, I'm going to do it. What's the last situation we had in that one where someone got basically money whipped to do their job? Phil Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
How well did that turn out?
Terribly.
So there is a thought process of, did he have to get talked into this? And did the money say, okay, now I want to play? So Would that concern you? Forgetting I don't care about the look on the sideline. Jay Cutler is what he is. He's not going to be some rah-rah leader. I'm not talking about that. But the desire to play, to want to go in there and do the grind. Now, a lot of the grind is in the offseason. You're getting ready for the regular season now. Is okay, I'm going to get there 2 weeks into it. Is it going to be like, well, now I know why I wanted to be out of this game. I didn't want to do it anymore. I don't know. That only Jay Cutler can answer that. But if you have to, I don't know, and I don't know how much he had to be talked into doing this. So if you really had to be talked into it, yeah, there's a little bit in the back of my mind saying, how much of the want to is there.
The comparison I would make to it, and I saw Peter King wrote an interesting one, because in August 6th of 2008, Mike Tannenbaum, who was the general manager then of the Jets, called Bus Cook, who was the agent of a quarterback who everyone thought was sort of done, and figured out a way to get Brett Favre to the Jets. August 6th, 2017, so 9 years later to the day, Mike Tannenbaum, now the GM of the Dolphins, called Bus Cook, the agent for a quarterback everyone thought was done, and talked Jay Cutler into coming up to Miami. So there's some interesting symmetry and a coincidence on the dates there. But our Jeff Darlington, again, NFL reporter, suggests this was not as much about money as it was about Jay wanting to go back and play in a place where they genuinely wanted him.
The money wasn't the ultimate deciding factor here. From Cutler's standpoint, it was all of a sudden this respect factor that everybody in the organization was now stepping up. From ownership to the front office, they were all saying, we want you here. To the point where, just as we were talking about, $10 million with the chance to earn up to $3 million in incentives on the end of that. So money is nice, and so is respect. And all of a sudden, Jay Cutler says, I can deal with that.
And I'm sure on the other side of that, people are going to say, well, why did he get that in the offseason? Why didn't maybe they go after him in the offseason? Well, they had a quarterback in Ryan Tannehill, who was the quarterback now and for the future of this team. So there was really no need to sign Jay Cutler to come in that situation. But now the situation that presents itself, and, okay, if he feels like he was wanted. But, again, I wasn't there. I don't know what money they started at. I don't know if he used that as leverage to get more. So, and I'm not in Jay Cutler's head of the want to be there. There's I'm going to agree to play football, so there's the natural assumption, well, he wants to play football. Well, I don't know that for a fact. That's just something to me that would be in the back of my mind a little bit of how much did he have to be talked into coming back.
All right, we'll wait and see how that thing turns out. And again, we'll get perspective from both Bomani and Dan Le Batard and Herm Edwards. As the morning continues, we are Mike and Mike. We're presented by Progressive Insurance, and they will be on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. Meanwhile, let's get to the next piece of business here. Tom Brady last week, while we were away, there was finally an opportunity to ask him about his wife Gisele Bündchen, saying that Tom had a concussion during the year last year, which for a variety of reasons that we don't need to go into here, any sports fan knows, is newsworthy in that he was never on the injury report with it, and there's that side of the story, and then there's the whole, we're talking a lot about football and concussions and CTE and brain injuries and all of that lately, and he's the biggest star in the sport. He just turned 40 years old. So Brady was finally asked about it, and he gave the following answer.
I don't want to get into, things that happened in my past, certainly medical history and so forth. I really don't think that's anybody's business. So, what happened last year, and, I'm focused on this year and improving and working on things I need to get better at. So, that's how I approach everything. I'm not sitting here worried about last year or 5 years ago. There's other people that do worry about that, my wife or my parents or my sisters or, people that love me and care about me, but I do the best I can do to come out and be prepared to play, and mentally and physically, and I give the game everything I can.
Okay, so the headline there, the headline is, it's nobody's business. And then he went on and explained a lot of other things that are reasonable. Before I get your take on it, Mike, let's hear from Bob Lee, who yesterday, I believe this was on yesterday morning's E60, had a very strong response. Here's Bob Lee.
Tom Brady isn't known as a scrambling quarterback, but Friday morning he was an open field marvel. Talking to reporters at Patriots camp, and by the way, a Brady press availability can be as frequent as a solar eclipse. Brady was asked flat out by our colleague Mike Reese whether Gisele Bündchen's statement that her husband had suffered concussions was indeed accurate. Tom Brady's response: "It's none of your business." The hell it isn't, Tom. With enhanced NFL protocols now in place to diagnose and treat brain trauma, that the league's greatest ever quarterback may have had concussions despite never being listed as such on an injury report, that is news. So is Roger Goodell's response to that recent CTE case series. He cited a 4-year-old study on a longer lifespan for players, even as his chief medical officer was saying, quote, it's very clear repetitive head injuries bring long-term health risks. Tom Brady just turned 40. He says this is all none of our business. And Tom, I sincerely and honestly hope you can say that as you celebrate many healthy birthdays in the years ahead.
So there's Bob Lee, who I'm not gonna.
I sprayed that peppermint stuff. I sprayed that peppermint stuff.
And there he is using the phrase, ESPN 21 years.
So I took a
I've never heard him say something quite as directly as he said that, and he has said a lot of things. So that's a pretty strong comment. Mike, what was your reaction?
Zero issue with what Brady said. Zero. And he doesn't owe Bob Lee or anybody else an explanation of the history of his injury. Especially, was it they're public. They're unless you're accusing the New England Patriots of not putting an injury on an injury list, which is public, make that accusation if you want to do that. But was Tom Brady listed on a concussion report last year?
No, he was not.
No, he was not.
That's the point.
That's exactly. What's the point?
The point is that if he had a concussion and they didn't list it.
Well, then I said, have your issue with the Patriots. Does anybody have an issue with the Patriots? Are we ripping the Patriots at this point?
The question, no one is answering the question, did he have a concussion or not, except his wife, who says he did.
Right.
So the question is, did you have a concussion or not? Your wife says you did. If you did, it wasn't on the injury report. Now we have a problem.
No. The problem would be if he didn't say anything. And she's just diagnosing at home if he says he has a headache.
Meaning if he didn't say anything to the
team. And you know what? That's his right. Do you think the players aren't as educated as certainly my era or this era of player is as educated, and we still have a long way to go, but as educated as any on what's going on? We believe that or not? Certainly should be. Okay? And if a player wants to still hide a concussion, it's his right. That's his right. Are you saying that's not his right? Does he owe it to Bob Lee or to anybody else to say he had a concussion? If he chooses to do that, that's his body and his right to do. So now, I don't know if you're getting into, again, are we accusing the Patriots of hiding this? Are we accusing Tom Brady of getting stung in the head and not saying anything to the Patriots? Where are we going here? I mean, you tell me. I don't know. I think it's not an unfair question to say, did you have a concussion last year or not? He can say no. Or the truth is no, he can say no. But he didn't. He can say whatever he wants. And he said, I'm not talking. First of all, and foremost, that's a New England Patriot answer.
Right.
So we're going to be shocked. All of a sudden, we're going to think that's going to change, that they're going to be this open, team, or Tom Brady's going to give some sort of open interview when they don't do that. So number one, that's not going to happen. Number two is, he doesn't have to talk about it. He has every right in the world to.